Here is the door, here is the key, here is the lock. Now you can see that we're back home, back home. Yes, we're back home, back home. See the pale fridge, open the door, drink a tin of beer, sit on the floor. Yes, we're back home, back home. We're back home, back home. Pull down the blind, crawl into bed, shut out the world, troubles are shed. Wish I were dead. Yes, we're back home. No, 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 you can't change me, I'm fixed. No, 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 I sit here looking at the wall, deaf and blind to new ideas. I sit here looking at nothing, hearing nothing, doing nothing, except sitting and breathing quietly, like this. Ha, 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 that's all I do. Ha.
The curse. Is this the Friendless Society? Yes, this is the Friendless Society. You want to join? I want to join the Friendless Society. Whew! What a horrible smell. Is it coming from you? It smells like the kitchen sink. Yes, it's me. I smell like the kitchen sink. Tough luck. It's an awful smell. How did you come by it? Well, it happened when I was 11. When I was 11, I was sitting in the garden. I was a horrible boy in those days, you know, my head full of guns and soldiers and fighting. Well, I'm sitting in the garden and this fairy comes along and perches on my knee and she looks at me and she says, "Do you like me, little boy?" And this sickened me to my soul. Could you imagine what would have happened if one of my pals come along and this fairy saying, "Do you like me, little boy?" So I caught her a swipe right in the middle and knocked her flat on her back on the grass. And she got up, and she was furious, of course, and she came flying right up to my face and she shouts, "I'm going to put a curse on you. You're going to smell like the kitchen sink till the day you die." Then she flew away before I could take another swipe at her. So you've got to go around the world like this till the day you die? Yes, I'm used to it now, myself. Well, I'm not. I'm afraid you can't come in here. The members are friendless, but they're not as friendless as that. Well, what am I going to do? Why not start another branch? Call it Friendless Society Branch 1. Let people join who are afflicted with impaired olfactory organs.
Who's that knocking at my door? 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 No Nobody's knocking at your door. 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 Who's that not knocking at my door? 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 Nobody's not knocking at your door. 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 It's snowing, let's get rid of the path. It's snowing, let's get rid of the wind. It is blowing, making the air move about. It's blowing, 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 moving our insides around, 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 around. It's snowing, let's get rid of the path. It's snowing, let's get rid of the wind. It is blowing, making the air move about. It's blowing, 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 moving our insides around, 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 around. It's snowing.
Scratch my back. Scratch my back, mister. This from an old man of 82, wearing a greasy old faded pink overcoat. I shrank from his coat with distaste. Look, sir, I've just gone and cut my nails. Ah, he said, I'm in agony. I thought, poor man. Tell you what, I said, if you care to wait till my nails grow, I'll give you a good scratch. Oh, he said, how long does it take for your nails to grow? I'm in agony. Well, maybe a week, I said. A week. And he looked round despairingly, but there was no one else there. All right, he said. So we sat down and watched my nails growing. Every day, every now and again, he would look down at his own nails, which were long and filthy and cracked, and try to work them round to his back. But of course, he couldn't get them near the itchy places. The first couple of days we talked pleasantly together. Small talk. The weather. The weather was the big topic. You see, we were sitting on the kerb with our feet in the gutter, and it was pouring. But we knew that as long as we stayed where we were, the stone on which we were sitting would remain dry, albeit cold. On the 5th day, I became restless. From the condition of my nails, I knew that in a couple of days I'd have to scratch this woman's back. Look here, I said, why don't you rub your back against the wall? She looked at me, hurt. She'd been looking forward for 5 days to a good scratch, and here was I trying to pan her off on a wall. No, she whispered, trying to keep her temper as well as she could. It wouldn't get between my blade bones. I submitted to her logic. 6th day came. It had been raining steadily all these 6 days, I hadn't slept very much. I didn't feel like sleeping much anyway, with the rain pouring down on me. We were both quite wet, but you know, when you sit out in the rain for 6 days, it doesn't seem to matter any more about it raining, and I felt myself becoming very calm and thoughtful, and I think the woman did too. The 7th day dawned, and as soon as it was light enough, I looked at my nails. They were long. They were sharp. I turned to the woman. I felt like a martyr, a bit smug and noble. "Okay," I said, "present your back." She looked full at me. I couldn't read her face. The writing was illegible. My back stopped itching. "Thanks all the same." She stretched luxuriously into her mustard twin suit and staggered away into the dawn. I looked after her in honest admiration. What a stoic! But what is this? She turns and with a look of agony staggers back. Quick as thought, I pull out my scissors and cut my nails.
I'm walking to a farm to grow wheat. I'm walking to a farm to grow wheat. The sky is blue, the sun is yellow. I'm walking to a farm to grow wheat. The duck is white, the pond is grey. I'm walking to a farm to grow wheat. My plough is made of wood, the black earth is soft. I'm walking to a farm to grow wheat. The share is teak, the handle ash. My plough is made of wood, the black earth is soft. The duck is white, the pond is grey. The sky is blue, the sun is yellow. I'm walking to a farm to grow wheat. The sun is yellow to grow wheat.
Life in a Scotch Sitting Room, Volume 2, Episode 10. There is no Episode 10. Vermin. Vermin on the necks of children do not know another world. They form communities, fight wars over grazing rights, make love in the long grass. The females discuss confinements and prolapses. Their children examine one another's bodies. Food is greasy, but vermin expect that and thrive on it. Of course, there are cataclysms like soapy water. But Vermin are plucky little survivors and never complain. Humbly, they seek out the poorest children with sweet and sour necks, sitting by paraffin heaters trying to keep warm. A new home. I sat flat in the gutter, easing my short legs onto the pavement. My ear itched. It was a fervid bunch of bacteria. Live with us, they breathed on my eardrum, clinging to a hair. Do not go, said Dad. Here is better, said Mum. You are breaking the family up, cried all my sisters in one voice. Granny held her peace. I choked out a goodbye, folks, and followed the little things. It will be a tight squeeze, coughed Grandfather, rubbing his chin. When we reached where they lived, a fine crack between two stones, and drifted casually in, I followed, a bit at a time. Large and puffy. She beckoned me with a finger. It was large and puffy, like a cheap white pillow. No, Betty, that finger puts me off, and you know it. It was my night for sex, and I was hot and irritable. Betty's white finger was the last straw. I moved into the brown veranda and sat listening to the heavy rain, but in vain. Betty would have to wait. Country door. A man knocks on a tree. The tree opens the door. The man walks inside and the door shuts. My father was like that. He'd walk into the country and knock on a tree. Are you a Tory? Are you a Tory? No. Then you must be a left-wing subversive. Do I get shot? Not yet.